In this video, we'll demonstrate how to install the Rhino rack backbone and Pioneer to a Ford Ranger P703 double cab. Before commencing, refer to the online instruction manual and cross-check all components are supplied, as well as the appropriate tools for the installation ahead. The first step is to lower the internal roof liner in order to access the inner mounting points. As this requires a number of internal fixtures to be removed, ensure a clean workspace is available to lay out all items in an orderly fashion. This will help with reinstallation. Step 1. Remove all pillar grab handles using the supplied trim tool and 6mm hex socket. Start with A pillars, passenger and driver's sides. Then, those on the B pillars, passenger and driver's sides. Remove all roof grab handles using the supplied trim tool and T30 Torx bit, front left, and rear right. Remove both front visors by unclipping the covers and removing the bolts underneath with a T20 Torx bit. Remove the visor roof clips by lifting the covers and removing the bolts. Remove the rear ceiling hooks by sliding out the cover. Rotate the hook forwards, then pulling it down, all the while applying pressure rearwards. Remove the B pillar seat belts by unclipping the covers and unscrewing the bolts with a T50 Torx bit. Pull down the rubber seal on all doors. Collapse the rear seats by pulling up the release tab and pushing the seats forward. Remove the seatbelt caps, left, middle, and right. Remove the middle seatbelt pillar. Remove the bolts and rubber stoppers from the rear panel with a T25 Torx bit. Remove the rear panel. Loosen the lower C pillar covers by unclipping at the top. Remove the upper C pillar covers. Remove the B pillar covers. Start by unclipping at the top and working your way down. Remove the A pillar covers. Unclip from the top. Then, at the bottom, carefully unclip the speaker wire before removing the cover entirely. Above the rear vision mirror, add 3 strips of protective tape over the plastic trim to prevent any scuffing when the roof liner drops down. Open the sunglasses compartment and, starting at the rear, then the centre, carefully pry the console downward, all the while leaving the bottom section closest to the windscreen hooked into the roof lining. Lower the centre trim panel further and carefully detach both the wire connectors from the centre console. If necessary, use a pen or sharp object to unclip the blue connector, as shown here. Remove both screws in the centre console with a T20 Torx bit. Finally, lower the roof lining by detaching the magnetic connection point in the middle of the roof and as far as the wiring allows. Be careful not to force the roof lining downwards at the front to place undue pressure on the attached wiring. The first step in installing the Rhino rack backbone is to remove the existing factory rails or bare roof ditch rubbers by unscrewing all 4 connection points. These are located at the front and rear inner roof areas on either side of the vehicle. Vehicles with factory rails separate the rail from the roof by starting at the rear. For bare roof vehicles, peel the ditch rubber upwards, starting from the rear of the vehicle and making your way to the front. Use the scraper inside the roof ditch only to assist removal. Using the scraper, remove any excess tape or glue residue from the ditch area. Then thoroughly clean any residual dirt with a clean cloth. Next is to add new rubber strips to the ditch. Firstly, measure 98mm from the rear edge of the front hole and mark with a pen. Next, with the rubber strip in hand, peel back the adhesive backing. Then firmly apply to the ditch, starting at the front from the marked spot. Be sure to orientate the rubber strip as shown here. Next, add protective tape on either side of the ditch, front and rear. With the supplied M10 bolts already added, carefully lower the backbone in place, ensuring each bolt aligns with each mounting point. When inserted, carefully add the corresponding M10 washer and M10 nut to the bolt from inside the roof. At the front, ensure a firm grip on the washer and nut to avoid dropping them in the roof cavity. When finger tight, use a 13mm open-ended spanner to hold the bolt from rotating. With the assistance of a second person underneath, use a 17mm hex socket and torque wrench to incrementally tighten each nut to 20 Newton meters. Repeat the same process on the other side of the vehicle. Next, remove the protective tape and add the front and rear covers. Simply peel off the adhesive backing and insert over the exposed bolt and ditch areas. Repeat for the other side of the vehicle. The next step is to lift the internal roof lining back to its original position and reinstall all fixtures. In this order, the 2 centre console screws, centre trim panel including both wire connectors. Remove the protective tape. Reinstall the A pillar covers with firstly reconnecting the speaker wires. The B pillar covers by connecting the upper panel to the lower panel before clipping back to the vehicle. The C pillar covers, again by connecting the upper panel to the lower panel before clipping back to the vehicle. Reinstall the rear panel. The rubber stoppers and bolts. The middle seatbelt pillar. And seatbelt caps. Lift back the rear seats. Reinstall the rubber seal on all doors. Reconnect the seatbelts to the B pillars with the correct torque setting. Reinstall the rear ceiling hooks, the visor roof clips, and sun visors and covers. Reinstall the roof grab handles, the B pillar, and lastly, A pillar grab handles and caps. With the Pioneer face down, adjust each underbar as per the fit chart, located on the Rhino Rack website. Simply loosen each nut, slide the bar to the desired measurements, and tighten with the supplied Pioneer torque tool. Add the supplied T-bolts. Finally, carefully lift the Pioneer into place from the rear of the vehicle. Slowly lower into place with the aerial positioned between planks. Ensure the supplied T-bolts line up over the backbone holes and secure tightly using a 13mm ring spanner. Now your Rhino Rack backbone and Pioneer is ready for use.